Alright, I'll turn that down. Welcome to Wheels of Aurelia, 1978. It's a driving... I get an idea of what this game's about based on the trailer. It's a driving game of sorts. Maybe some racing, maybe some not racing. It's hard to tell. It just looked cool, looked stylish. And sometimes I'm all about... Ooh, black and white mode. How do I get 1978 mode? Choose my car. I got this. These fancy spinning automobiles, spinning in opposite directions from each other. I think I'll go with this car. Although, should I get a smaller car because it's likely the smaller car might be easier for me to kind of weave in and out of traffic, whereas the bigger car is going to be bulkier. X as well as control the dialogue options. And pick what to say. Okay. I'll go with the yellow car. Hold A to drive faster. Left to turn left and right. And then choose dialogue. There is no brake button. Yeah. There's just accelerate, not accelerate, and the road. I presume I'm the character on the left there, and I'm running out of cigarettes. Okay. I'm not sure why I would say one thing over the next. Yeah. Should I quit smoking? Probably. Smoking's bad for you, kids. Okay. Not tonight. Yes, I should in another life. But where am I going? Am I just driving? The Piper Disco isn't far from here. Oh, it's right here. That was fast. Just labeled disco. Ah, I've got a passenger now. This fashionable young lady. Two girls alone in a sports car. That's a sports car I'm driving? Alright. Are you a feminist? Wait. I'm a woman in a post country. I must really... Of course I am. See, I actually don't even have to drive. He'll turn for me. Or she'll turn for me. I can just... Two punks from London. But you know, thanks. Whatever. Have you always had your hair like this? No, I used to be a sort of a different person. So what, you're changing your identity? What exactly are you watching on that TV of yours? I'm just changing my goddamn hair. Nothing. I bet your hair was long and blonde. I think I just passed a hitchhiker. Pretty good guess. I knew it. You were in a newsreel 2 years ago. Oh god, here we go. You're that girl who was kidnapped! Well, excellent reason to take up smoking. Do you like music? Take that! And now we're talking about San Ramo? Family, obligations, the farce. It's 1978. I have the right to... Come on, hop in. Bracciano, first exit to the right. I'm Lula, nice to meet you. I just picked up a hitchhiker to distract us from the conversation. Diamato Benedetto. You can call me Benny, though. Nice Juve scarf you've got there, Benny. I'm a full-blooded fan, more than 20 years. So, born and raised in Turin? Oh no, born and raised in Palermo. There's the Castello. We're almost to Bracciano. It's wonderful. They used it as a shelter during the plague. Plague, it's probably bad times. I'll remember that when nuclear war breaks out. Olga, you wanna smoke? Let us smoke cigarettes together. No thanks, I don't do that. Let's pressure into smoking. It's just, I don't want to right now. Good for you. Here we are. Cheers, belle. Forza. Italian men. Did you know Lake Bracciano came from a volcano? Fascinating, but it used to be an ancient settlement. Neolithic. I think we can see the Castello from here. Hello? Okay, these people are talking way too fast for my terrible, terrible voiceover. Who are you? Your car against good old Valeria's car. You in? Like I said, you're crazy, but I'm in. Race you to Siena, big shot. Start your engines. And now I'll use my... Now I just have to figure out how to pass him. Ah, there we go. I completely missed what was said because I was driving at the same time. This is a game that could definitely use voice acting. Can I ask you about, the kidnapping? As long as you're not a paparazzi. How's the food? Fine, good enough to survive 67 days anyway. 67 days, that's terrible. Not if you're already a prisoner for 20 years. Eh. Not everyone has the privilege of a happy childhood. You must have felt so free after that happened. Free like a bird. A bird with broken wings. Take that. Ah, who needs wings? We have wheels, don't we? Ah, it's the spirit. So, what are you looking at? The radio. Can I turn it off? Why not? I'd rather talk to you anyway. Well, we have been talking, even with the radio on. I'd rather talk too. But we have been talking. It's not like I only noticed the radio was playing when you mention it. Hey, Olga. What's up? Are we still racing this person? Shoot. I think I'm going the right way. We should double cross your kidnapper. I'm listening. First, tell the carabinieri you're meeting him. Carabinieri are busy enough these days, I tell you what. We're talking about an serious... So you're saying I should set a trap? Will it be entrapment? Yes, he'll be arrested in front of our eyes. You know the rules, Bello. So when did you people play by the rules? You people, you mean winners, Brick? I mean nice little commies, very nice ones. Hands off, fascist. Do you know what we do to nice commies like you? I know. Can't you take a joke? The best is yet to come. Just hand over your keys, Fascio. A challenge is a challenge. Take it, commie. Go to hell, bastard. That's Italy these days. Still up for a road trip? I don't know, things are getting kind of crazy. We're planning a trap. We're racing against people for cars. I'm pregnant. Maybe we'd be at a... I know, I get it. But I also know it'll get better. Okay, let's go. So do we take the Brick's car? Drive on, Captain. He's driving away with some guy in an orange car. He has a gun! Armed neo-fascist terrorists. We're gonna track down the orange car, that's what. Why am I asking about abortion? She just told me she was pregnant. Ever heard of "My uterus belongs to me"? That's a slogan. This is real. Although that's, like, there's a lot of politics that are kind of built on slogans. Everybody says the buzzwords, so sometimes it's hard to differentiate, like, is this your opinion, or are you just jumping on the bandwagon? Well, I'd be a single mom. A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. Little does she know, fish love bicycles. He didn't just come up with that. No, but hey, we're tossing slogans around. Are you saying I'd be a good mother? Any woman could be a good mother. That's fair. Including yours? I said woman, not reactionary nutcase. Being single isn't the only reason. What else? Thank goodness for that. Alright, I'll try to stop for the next hitchhiker. It's just not having a brake button. Probably not to France. I have not even seen an orange car. But I've also been trying to pay attention to the dialogue. And also figure out what's going on. And play the game. Without crashing into every single car. You think they're planning an attack or something? Yeah, did you call the police, like I said? Yes, I did. I hope they don't pick up on us. Our terrible, terrible driving. Impossible! Driving is my trump card. No one will notice I'm following them. I'm sorry. Why? You have to powder your nose again? There's someone I need you to meet. You're even prettier than I remembered. Who are you? What is this? Come on, baby. A big smile for the camera. Money, you sold me out to the paparazzi. It's a great face. Look more shocked. You'll love it. Back in the news. Why? After all this time together. I loved driving with you, Olga. Neo-fascist terrorist Valerio made himself scarce, fleeing to Tokyo sometime between 1981 and 1983. Lila stayed out of sight as Cecchini's scoop hit the news, seeing the sights of Europe before eventually heading home by train. On August 2nd, a neo-fascist bomb exploded in Bologna Station, killing 85. Ending 1 of 16. So that was Wheels of Aurelia. I suppose I could always go back and play one of those other, try to get one of those other endings, and there were definitely a lot of choices that I could have made. But on one hand, as a game, like, part of me wonders, it kind of feels like this kind of tacked on, like, gameplay versus narrative that the gameplay doesn't necessarily serve the narrative, and the narrative doesn't necessarily serve the gameplay. And I spent most of the time just kind of like trying to find some sort of balance between paying attention to both of them, and I found myself not really paying as much attention to the gameplay because I didn't have to. To a point. I wasn't really paying attention to the signs on the street, or the colors of the car, I suppose, at some point. But as a narrative way of presenting a game, this is an interesting like experiment type thing. And that's where like indie type games can succeed, where big budget games would not be able to, is they can't really experiment in this kind of fashion. The idea that you are doing this kind of road trip, and you do have a story to tell, and you can actually make some decisions based on what you feel would be a more interesting conversation. Problem with that is the decisions that I was trying to make were more based on whether I thought the conversation would be interesting, not necessarily what I felt the character might be interested in. Largely because the game was kind of giving me information and then I would be like, oh, what? I didn't know anything about this. without any character introduction. It might have been nice to have a little bit of character introduction to the driver, because then I might have had some idea that she might have been sensitive about her kidnapping incident, which I would imagine she would be. But that kind of came a little bit out of nowhere. What especially came out of nowhere was the passenger, Olga, saying how she wanted to get an abortion. And that's the thing. She didn't say she wanted to get an abortion. The driver was asking her whether she wanted to get an abortion first. Not whether, but why. Which seems like there was a conversation tree, like, path that I missed. But it's like, oh, okay, now we're talking about this now. Which I suppose is something that you could say, like how many games talk about this era of politics for Italy, let alone any era of politics? How many video games out there talk about subjects like fascism, communism, abortion? It would just be nice to have a little bit more setup. Instead of just kind of going in blind to the experience. And Santa Ragione, you're welcome.